Liverpool dealt a hammer blow, Arsenal win at the Lane, and City get out of the Forest unscathed.
Evening, Tate.
Evening, Jack. You alright?
Yes.
Got a smile on your face.
I'm good. I'm smiling through the pain.
Well, you've been telling me your stories of the week on Friday and all sorts. And
yeah, like I think you're about to say, but we haven't had a pod. We haven't been down here in a while. It feels like, and I feel like a lot has happened on and off the pitch. Yeah, as many of you see, I've had that horrible bite thing and swelling and God knows what. So it's now a lump in the middle of my forehead. So yeah, I'm looking really good, but is what it is, and we move on.
You're not lose the week this week, are you?
No, no. Just there's other options I could quite easily do there, but nah, I thought it's too much negative self-talk. So yeah, I'll try and change it this week.
Yeah, like Jack mentions, the last time we recorded, there's been a lot going on. 23 games of Premier League football, FA Cup semi-finals. Obviously, last week I was at Stag in Seville, which was very good fun. Obviously, North London Derby yesterday, which will be part 2, which we shall get on to. But first, we would like to do the teaser. And looking forward to next weekend, Tottenham travel to Anfield on Sunday to face Liverpool. Can you name me 7 players to have played for both teams?
Go.
I wasn't sure if 7 is a lot, but it's quite a lot, actually, from the list.
Yep, we'll have a go.
You're not going, are you? You're in Portugal,
no, yeah. After tonight, I'm turning off for a week. That's me finished. Phone is going probably in the deep sea, and I'm not. Yeah, I'll be watching the football when I'm out there, but I'm not. I'm so happy. I'm not anywhere near it. It's awful. So, yeah, I'm tuned off for a week, definitely.
But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, since our last podcast, Down the Bunker, there have been 23 games of Premier League football, and just to run you through some quick headlines. Everton have won 3, conceding none, and now safe. What is going on? Dyche has ditched the suit and put the tracksuit on, and he's 3 from 3. Sheffield United have finally been relegated. Finally. Although, did you see that statement that the Premier League put out?
No.
On Twitter? It's like, Sheffield United have been relegated, bearing any
investigation,
any further points deductions, or I think Forest find out their whatever, or maybe Everton gets some. I don't know, but
they can't imagine somehow. Yeah,
imagine Everton getting another 5.
No, that can't happen. Sheffield United disgrace.
Impressive wins for Palace over West Ham and Newcastle, and then a nice draw at the weekend against Fulham. Man City and Man United progress in the FA Cup final. Man United.
Close.
Wow.
Couldn't have been any closer.
Ten Hag masterclass over both weekends. Superb management. Although I just know that he could potentially be saving his almighty glory for week on Sunday.
Yeah, that's...
Which I'm petrified about. Probably more scared about than I was yesterday.
I think they can, excuse my French, shithouse their way to a draw. The way they're a disgrace as well, but yeah.
Luton and Forest both lose twice, keeping survival hopes in the balance. And can Burnley possibly survive? And there's all sorts of stuff about Forest and referees. Have Klopp and Salah fallen out? Klopp's wheels are falling off.
Yeah, and even the ref in their game. Anthony Taylor yesterday for West Ham Liverpool, whenever Saturday, sorry. Like you said, there's been a couple of weeks, and I think the last pod we did was Monday, or 2 weeks ago Monday, and it was Chelsea won 6-0
and then lost 5-0.
Yeah, then lost 5-0, then 2 goals down at Villa, brought it back to 3-2, but it's ruled out. A lot has gone on.
Let's start though with Everton, I think. They're now safe. Pretty impressive week beating Forest. That was the game that I thought if they'd lost that, then they could be dragged back in. But whoever Everton winning that at home, I thought that's them safe. And then to go on to beat Liverpool, I actually had a funny feeling they could do Liverpool.
Yeah. I think most people knew that Liverpool were never really in that. It was only between Arsenal and City, and that was the final piece that definitely you're not involved no longer. But yeah, it was a perfect everything you want, or what we tried to do yesterday, but perfect atmosphere. The setting was perfect for Everton to get a result, and it was classic Dyche, and I quite enjoyed it. It was not a throwback, but it was we're we're playing 4-5-1. Whether they did, they had a striker in Calvert-Lewin who was on fire, who's incredible at jumping. By the way, he might not score a lot of goals and be injured, but bloody hell, he can jump. And it was just like, I just love him. But Dwight McNeil was on the left. It was just
he shot at the weekend. It hit the crossbar.
He's the left foot. He's a wand. They call him something, but yeah, he's class. But yeah, it was classic like channel balls. Right, we just press them. We maybe make 2-3 passes, but then it's direct, it's diagonal passes, it's long balls. It was nice to watch.
That Braithwaite goal was the epitome of like a day. It's like the best, worst goal in the world. I don't think I've ever seen a worse, but more like pleasantly goal. Like there's mistakes everywhere, there's deflections, miss hits, goalkeeping error, and it's just and even Calvert-Lewin tries to steal it in the end, and he's come charging in. Yeah.
No, it's good.
But like I said, it was the perfect storm, and I think that played into what we've been saying on here for a while, that Liverpool were in the race, but I think they were at 110%. They were blowing, and they lost to Palace, then back-to-back in Europe, getting knocked out, and then this. They looked a little bit leggy, I think, against Fulham. They won in the Sunday leading up to it, and Everton knew. I think it was a perfect storm for Everton as well. They knew a win, they're safe. And a win kills Liverpool.
Yeah, ends their rivals, and it's like I said, sort of a bit like Palace really, but their form was, a few results they've picked up have gone unnoticed because it's towards the end of the season. Those sides aren't really achieving much, going anywhere. But yeah, like I said, Everton 3 on a bounce, and I think they were safe anyway. They're better than the teams below them, but yeah, 3 wins and they're absolutely fine.
Yeah, Palace and April always seem to become good once they can't
they pick up random wins and goals.
Like we've mentioned enough times, I think the win against West Ham, you have Elise and Eze start, and they win, and both of them score, and it's no surprise because they do that when they both play, because they're so influential in that team. Yeah. Another team, Bournemouth, I know they lost to Villa, but then they backed that up with a win away at Wolves and a win at the weekend against Brighton. And I've sort of read some stat. They didn't win a game in their first 9 this season, and since then they are the 6th best team in the league, I think, or the 5th.
Yeah. I think I don't know how close they are. They might have done it, but they should get their highest points tally this season.
You know, they beat it at the weekend. They sit in
they
10th,
picked up some good wins.
level on points with Chelsea. Although Chelsea do have 2 games in hand, but
Bournemouth to say they're 10th, and
they've had a really good season, above the likes of Wolves, Brighton, Fulham, Palace. They've had a really good season. I think a few people may have had them for relegation candidates,
especially like you said after that start with new manager, and they're good.
I went to the game on Tuesday when we beat Chelsea. I remember you texted me beforehand and were like, "You'll probably win 9-0." I was like, as long as we do what we can do, and I sort of had the same sort of opinion on yesterday's game. Long as we play our football and don't turn it into a derby, and don't make it end to end, we'll win because we're a very good team. And if we do what we do, and we are better than a lot of other teams. We're playing it, we went 1-0 up early, and then Chelsea did have a few, because Chelsea are an athletic team with Jackson. He's not a bad player. He just cannot finish. He cannot finish, but he does everything else but that. So he did Saliba for pace. He runs in channels, but the one chance he had against Ray just absolutely fluffed his lines. Gallagher's the epitome of that, just pure athlete. Madueke's an okay player. Mudryk is an athlete, but if you can't get him in the game, there's no space for him. He doesn't do anything. But we battered them second half.
Yeah, it was.
It was funny because it was. I said to Griff before. He goes, "Do you reckon there'll be loud Chelsea?" I said, "Well, I can tell you the 3 or 4 songs." I was Chelsea. Where's your European Cup?
Yeah.
Champions of Europe. You'll never sing that. And
say that with Tottenham probably.
There was another song, and there was this one bloke that stood there the whole time with a plastic inflatable Champions League and just stood there. That's all he did. It was 5-0. He just stood there with this thing, and I was just like, "Just grow up, mate. You're so far away. You're so far away from even being in the competition, let alone winning that again." But
no, I did think you'd batter them, and obviously you did. But they're just the team they put out with just I don't know, Poch is just a mess. It's a total mess.
They are. But I think that even their back four is just they are a mess. But then they can get a result like they did against Villa, like 2-0 down at half time. I think everyone thinks 3-4.
It's done.
Poch is going to get sacked in the morning. But also that's also Unai Emery's forte of throwing away 2-goal leads like he did at Arsenal numerous times. What's your opinion on the disallowed goal? That's an absolute shambles. The ref's there.
Well, you could talk about the whole officials from the whole weekend, but I didn't watch the game at all. I thought it was on telly.
Ipswich
on telly. I was watching that. It was far better, but yeah, I don't know. It's very weak, isn't it? It's so weak, and I probably, if it's one of those, if it's your team, you probably want a foul. Like if it's Villa, you probably do. You're screaming for a foul, I think, and I don't know. But yeah, it'd be very frustrating, but also, I think you'd want the free kick.
I know football doesn't work like this, but if the roles are reversed, that's not a penalty. It's just
true.
not.
Yeah,
it's just not.
True.
I know we always say like you have to actually do a little bit extra for a penalty.
Yeah.
Like you just is a foul in the box is you have to sort of do like a 1.5 fouls to. It's just.
Yeah, it wouldn't have. Yeah, you're right. It probably.
The fact that they disallowed that, and I'm harping back on about it before Christmas, whenever it was, the Gabriel one at St James's Park, that just wasn't given, and we'll be here all day debating that. I feel like going back to the relegation zone, Luton maybe are running out of steam, or maybe have run out.
I think those, all three, they've been gone for a while.
I would really like Luton to catch Forest now.
Yeah, I think everyone's saying, Luton, they're doing well, playing well, it's such a good story, but it's a great story, but they're crap. Like they're losing so many games, or they've lost so many games, and Burnley are a similar situation, and yeah, they might, by pure chance and luck and whoever else, they might sneak out, but yeah, I think those three are done. And
Burnley have bucked their ideas up a little bit. A good job we didn't have a podcast last week, because I would have said some horrific words about Sheffield United. They're finally down.
Oh, yeah.
They have lost 5-0, I think, at home to Burnley, away at Burnley, and they lost 4-1 at home to Burnley. What? What? You conceded 9 goals to Burnley.
Yeah, they are just shambles. And I mean, I'll talk about them later on, but
13-1, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Over 2 games against Newcastle.
I'll skip to the point I'm going to say later, but they've conceded 97 goals.
I didn't see that.
97 goals.
What is their goal difference? Have a look. Minus 63. 97 goals. And if you actually, quick maths, but 97 divided by 35 is pretty much 3 a game.
Yeah.
That's absolutely atrocious.
And yeah, if you're like you always say about when jokingly, but when you play Harry Kane and it's technically 1-0 because he's already scored a penalty. But if you're Sheffield United, then probably start the game essentially 2-0 down at least. Like, where the hell are you getting? What are you doing? Like, how can you survive? And there's obviously a lot more to it, and we could talk about that all. But essentially, they are shit. They are so bad, and good riddance. Don't come back. Don't stick with Chris Wilder. Don't get Paul Hegemon back and then get promoted. Just stay out of the league.
Yeah, stay down for a bit. Have a breather.
Take League One Wes and fuck off.
Brighton have had an absolute disaster of a week as well. 4-0 down to City. Although the scoreline looks like City battered, they did batter them. There were a couple of fluky goals in. There was a deflected free kick that shouldn't have happened, and I can't remember I can't remember the other goal.
The foul. The leading to
and there was another goal that they played out from the back, didn't they? Just got caught and just kicked himself in the foot. I've only watched the 3-minute highlights against Bournemouth, and Bournemouth looked like they could have won that.
Oh, I didn't have
3 or 4-0.
Yeah, I've not looked. But I know it's probably a quick comment, but people are looking at De Zerbi as, and he might be a brilliant manager, but you can't be having. Surely you don't have all these results in and around your seasons quite regularly, and still supposedly looking for the top jobs. But
Man United's draw at Burnley meant that they couldn't get Champions League football anymore. They nearly threw it away against Sheffield United as well. 4-2. I think Burnley had 19 shots against them, and that was similar story with Sheffield United against them. I could tell a few stories when I watched them in Seville over the weekend, and that was. But that's for another day. Just they are an absolute disgrace, and I just hope that we can put them to the sword, please. I can't have that egg on my face.
I think they are just
I think he's now gone. He just has to go.
Yeah,
There's nothing. He doesn't do any. The thing that really irritates me the most is when we were shit and Arteta first took over. He did say we were pretty crap, and we would do things, and he would admit that we weren't very good at this. And they drew 1-1 at Burnley, and Ten Hag came out and said they're the most entertaining team in the league.
I thought it was a joke. Sure, I was like that. Surely not.
They play free-flying football, and they're this to that. You're not. Stop kidding yourself. They're not. Because
Yeah,
I get you've had injuries, but you're just not very good,
No.
or you're just not. You haven't got a structural shape.
No.
I get that Casemiro's playing centre half, and that's an absolute disgrace. Onana's cleaned out more strikers.
Thank God they gave it as a penalty as well.
More strikers than he has punched the ball. He said, I think only Sheffield United and Burnley have conceded more shots than Man United.
Yeah, they aren't very good at the minute, and
I
think Ten Hag is massively to do that.
34 games in. It's April the 29th at 19:29 p.m. and Man United have a +1 goal difference.
And it's his second year, and they've got worse. Like, they haven't.
Even
no
Chelsea
sign
have
of anything.
+4.
Yeah.
And just trying to think of anything else. Villa look like they've pretty much secured.
Yeah, again, I'm sort of skimming it, but I think the league is set now. It's Arsenal City for the title.
Pretty much secured.
Villa
fourth place.
I think. Yeah, and I think we'll stumble across and get fifth.
I think you'll get fifth over United, and then you've got maybe who's in the FA Cup final. So it's United City. So that means that seventh place should get Conference League, because United will get Europa League minimum now, won't they?
Yeah.
So yeah, that should drop down to seventh.
I think Chelsea got an outside chance, haven't they? And possibly West Ham.
Who's their other game in hand against? They've got you lot on Thursday.
Not sure. Don't know.
I don't know who that is against. But yeah, I really hope Luton can try and save. They're 1 point adrift of Forest. Luton Everton on Friday night would be a good game. I think Forest got to play Burnley as well, or they play Sheffield United. They play one of the two. But out of the three teams, Forest, Luton, and Burnley, Luton have the better games on paper. You would think.
Yeah. Chelsea got us at home, West Ham at home, Forest, Brighton, and Bournemouth. So could get us a few points, but yeah, I think it's pretty much done, isn't it? I think maybe Luton or Burnley escape, but I can't see it.
Right. Shall we move on to
the main event?
Yesterday's game?
Yeah.
You at the game, weren't you?
Yeah, we were.
What were your thoughts pre-match? I know you were quite negative over text, or I'm also the same, but in your head, were you thinking you could get something if you...
No, I said I was adamant that it was going to be a high-scoring draw. If it wasn't a high-scoring draw, then we'd lose 4 or 5-0, or maybe we nicked a goal, whatever, quite comfortably, because of this way we're playing and all the rest of it. And I think when it's built up and you're inside and you're talking to everyone, there's there's a slight bit of hope, and you think, oh, maybe we could do this and do that. And we actually started the game pretty well, and we thought, oh, this is perfect. The atmosphere was right. It was quite fierce, and it was a classic derby. And we thought there was little moments, you might not have noticed it, but in the first sort of 10 minutes, Ben White, I think, might have accidentally touched the ball out, or it went under his foot, or I think a ball was
too long for him, wasn't it?
For Saka or someone on the right end. And for me, in those moments, you need the crowd to get up on their feet and get in their face, and it happens at Emirates all the time, and it's very annoying, but it works, and that's what you need. And then we had that, and I was thinking then, this is, we're doing okay here. We weren't brilliant, and I don't think Arsenal were brilliant, but little things were happening. We were pressing quite high, and I think Partey lost the ball, and little moments were happening. It was maybe we could do something here. And then 15 minutes, first corner or second corner, and Højbjerg gets in our own goal, and you just think, oh my God, and I think he had a shot before that. Maybe I'm not quite sure.
That led to the corner, but just a bit on the pre-match stuff on team selection, and obviously Spurs didn't play 15 games. I think Arsenal played 4 times in that time.
Yeah,
I was a little bit surprised with your selection. Personally, I was glad to see it, and obviously I think you told me that obviously a doggy was going to be injured. Højbjerg coming in and Werner starting. There were 2 players I wanted to see on your team sheet, because Højbjerg can't run, and he's there to be defensiveness. Yeah. And I'm not a Spurs fan. I don't watch you too often, but I pinpoint him, and when I do watch you, I watch when he plays. And normally, probably got a bit of bias in my head from you. 7 times out of 10, he's fucking horrible.
Yeah, I know. And
I was glad to see him, because he can't. He hasn't got that athleticism as a Sarr or a Basuma, and maybe they weren't very good against Newcastle. And Højbjerg came in for that. He's a bit more protective, but I was glad to see him, because we can get at him. Yeah. He's not great on the ball. He makes some passes that are just to no one, and he turns over the ball a lot, which for Arsenal is perfect. You give the ball to him and he kicks it away, and we get it, and we can regain possession. And the other one was Werner. he's shit. He's quick, but he's absolutely shit. But I was worried when Johnson came on because Johnson's...
He actually done alright.
He's very, very quick, and I thought he would cause Ben White problems. Werner, I think I could quite happily have Werner one-on-one, just knowing he wouldn't do much.
Yeah,
he's one of them players that I've seen enough times now. He's
very frustrating. To be honest, I'm like you, and obviously everyone knows my opinion on Højbjerg, but we have been pretty bad for the last few weeks. It seems 5-6 games, and our midfield has been a huge problem. And Højbjerg has always been subbed on to try and fix it or whatever, steady the ship, whatever's going on. And Basuma comes off, or Asar comes off, or Benicor gets subbed off. So I actually said before, I was like, I don't mind him playing because that midfield too at the minute has been a shambles. And I hate to say it, like, but you know what you're going to get with Højbjerg because he shouldn't be playing. But I did think like it was not a bad idea, and we started the game pretty well. And but then the goal is down to him. But as a whole, we're again jump ahead, but our defending of set pieces and corners is just a shambles anyway. But I actually thought he was doing okay up until that point, and it was just a shame that.
Because like you said, both teams started off okay. I think Havertz had a goal ruled out offside. It was already offside when he put it in. Like you mentioned earlier, you robbed Partey once. I think Maddison had like a half chance or whatever. And then Partey then had the ball that's exactly the same position, dropped the shoulder, did Maddison.
Then you went out wide.
Got out wide, got a shot, got the free kick away, worked it away, and then you got a goal kick. And then I think that gave us a bit of confidence that we were out here. We pressed up high.
Yeah.
I think Van der Ven or someone gave it away.
It was, no,
played it through to...
There was a little... was that the goal?
Yeah, played it to Rice, who had the shot, came out for a corner.
Yeah, because that little spell, I think, like you said, when Partey turned and played it wide, like you said, it probably gave him a bit of confidence, and Arsenal really pressed up high and stepped up, and we could not move. Like, Vicario got the ball and was just like... Because where I sat, I'm essentially in his position, and you could see, he was just like, well, what the hell? Obviously, just lump it long, but... We got a free kick and we played it short, and Arsenal just went, thanks. And
you weren't set up for it. That was the problem. You weren't set up ready to go, and Arsenal pounced on you.
Yeah.
We were ready.
Yeah.
And obviously the block came in. I think it was Romero blocked it. If he hadn't blocked it, Havertz had a tap in at the back post.
Oh yeah, no, it was our own fault, and it sort of had to happen. But the corner itself wasn't a great corner from Saka, really. Like normally, a normal side have a person in that area. We had it for Harry Kane for years.
And if you hadn't watched Sky Sports News, it was Paul Merson must have said that about 75 times.
Really?
And he was the player. Yeah. He must have said it about 100 times.
It's perfect. And you stand at the front post and you have a free header, no one's near you, head the ball away. Arsenal went, shit corner, or you think nothing of it and the game goes on. But Tomiyasu, if Højbjerg doesn't head it, Tomiyasu heads it on and probably someone else nods it in. So, and Højbjerg's just in an awful position and poor, weak defending again, and there you go, 1-0 down.
I mean, I've got a note here, but from the words you said, you were reasonably positive about Højbjerg starting. I've just put, own goal from your mate. Can you repeat the words on air that you said after the goal went in?
No, I don't think I can. It wasn't...
Did you know it was him straight away?
Oh, yeah, I knew it was him. To be, I wasn't actually having a go at him, but just in general, because, our set-piece defending has just been disgrace. And I'm going to jump ahead because it will make sense, but... I will save that comment for the third goal as well. But
for me, it seems ever since you lost to Man City at home and Vicario was pinpointed then by City, most teams have done it, and he's looked a bit shaky. And
massive. It started at Everton away when they just kept swinging the ball in. It was actually my mate McNeil and whoever from the other side. But it's simple, just swing a nice ball in. Doesn't have to be whipped it like Saka tried. That was a poor corner essentially. But the third goal. Perfect. Rice just lofts a nice ball in. Then it's a 50-50 essentially. And if you're Arsenal, they've made it 70-30 in their favour all season, if not more. And you just attack the ball. And
he's 3 yards out. He's not going to miss.
Yeah, and it's not like Arsenal haven't reinvented the wheel. And look, we're doing. And everyone's saying about Arsenal got all these players doing this and Ben White's doing that. And okay, that might have an effect on it and a positive effect for Arsenal. But it's quite simple. It sounds archaic, but you just want it more than your person you're standing next to. And if we had a team of Romeros, we probably would concede one corner a season, but we don't. And Arsenal have gone, the players now understand how useful it is and how simple it can be. You swing in a corner and you just have 5-6 men that just go, right, I'm just going to head that ball as hard as I can towards the goal, and you win 90% of the balls that go in the box. And for whatever reason, if everyone's saying zonal and this and that, no, that's rubbish.
It's players that have been coached to do something and they know what to do. Arsenal, I've had it for years with Arsene Wenger. I reckon we'd score off corner maybe once a season, if that, and we would concede 10, 15. And that was like a regular thing for probably 5, 6, 7 years because Wenger clearly didn't give a fuck about corners.
No.
He didn't bother putting anyone in. We had a team of 5'11" players. Like, we didn't bother doing corners. Hence the reason Tony Pulis rubbed his hands with glee every time he came up against us and just threw it in, and we got battered with it. Now we've got a team that go in there. You've got Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu, Partey, Rice in there if he's not taking them, Havertz. They're all 6 foot plus. There's a big team in there.
They are. But even, I'd say, probably arguably your best area was Gabriel Jesus. I know he didn't play, but he's not even 6 foot, and he's incredible. He can jump. He's aggressive. All you got to be. It sounds really stupid. I sound like my dad, but you just got to be aggressive, and you win that ball. You could be like Martinez for Man United. He's so aggressive, and it makes up for his lack of height because he just charges at the ball. And he's like, right, I'm going to win this ball, and either I'm going to win it or I'm going to smash you. And it's simple as that. And for whatever reason, doing all his zonal stuff and all his rubbish, and it leads into the third goal in that, like you said, it's Havertz basically underneath the crossbar, and Vicario has to. That's his area. You have to dominate and command your. Ideally, everyone says your box, but at least your 6-yard box. That is Vicario's all day. Whether Ben White's doing whatever he's doing, you've got to shove him out of the way, smash the ball. You can use your hands, you can catch it, do whatever. And
what I did think was quite strange is they had no one on him. Like you've had 15 days to play for this game.
Yeah.
I could have told you that Ben White stands the goalkeeper and winds them up. Yeah. And what was interesting in the second half, Pape Sarr came on, and what was his job? Stick straight on Ben White. He did the few set pieces we had. He just sat with the goalkeeper.
It's not hard. It's corners and set pieces is like the most. You get rid of all tactics and knowledge and coaching badges and how good you are, whatever you do this, do that. But corners, that's why West Ham are so good at them, because they've gone right. Just swing a good ball in. We got some big ugly men that are just going to charge towards this ball. Tony Pulis with Stoke, perfect example. Yes, they were massive, but he was like, right, we are rubbish, so we have to be good at something else.
I do think some teams and managers turn their nose up at it though.
Yeah, massively.
We were the biggest snobs at it of all time. That era, 2007 to whenever he left, 2018, 16. Biggest snobs at defending corners. We were pathetic at it.
Yeah.
But moving on to the game, sort of not against the run of play, but not really much has happened goal-wise for it to 1-0 up. And then I think you had a corner maybe a minute later. Romero headed just wide. Yeah, and then got a free kick shortly after. Oh, sorry. Which he then hit the post. Yeah. And then I think you got another free kick that led to the deflected goal.
2 minutes.
Neville on commentary was just like straight away, thought it was offside.
Yeah, it was a shame.
I wasn't too sure. The first angle, it looked offside, and the second angle, it's like. But I've always been what's the word I'm looking for? Consistent with my views on VAR, and I think Neville said after the game this was the great use of VAR in today's game. But I personally think it always evens itself up in the end somehow. You would have got that goal, but you wouldn't have got the penalty if VAR weren't there.
Well,
and
VAR
vice
was
versa.
There, but then
that's what I mean.
Yeah, but the goal. No, yeah, but you say that, but because FC1's a penalty, and you disagree, but it's a penalty.
Oh, no way.
No way.
No chance.
How?
Because Kulusevski brushes Trossard's leg, brushes his leg.
Right.
Trossard doesn't make any movement towards Kulusevski.
But if Trossard doesn't, he doesn't make a move. But if I slide in, I don't mean to tackle you. I'm trying to get the ball, but I whack your legs. That's a foul.
Is so the Saka Neuer won a penalty?
Saka Neuer, no chance. Saka's dived like he does and throws his body into the goal. And on that point, that there's been plenty of arguments for people who have come out and said that. And the same with Kulusevski one. I don't have to say that it's a penalty because there's plenty of other people that have agreed with it and said it was. But Kulusevski one, he doesn't fall over if Trossard doesn't tap his leg.
No, but I don't think Trossard taps his leg. I think it's the other way around. As he runs, he runs across runs into Trossard's leg. Trossard just basically stands there, and he runs across him.
It's still a foul. It's like Declan Rice. Declan Rice didn't mean to boot Ben Davies, but he booted Ben Davies, so it's a foul.
No, It's very, very the slightest bit of contact.
100%, it is a slightest bit of
but
contact.
I think
but
it's
a penalty.
Kulusevski on. He runs into him.
It's a penalty, but that Michael was another shocking ref as we got on to. But
It didn't book Maddison for diving either.
dive, who don't?
Straight after the thing.
No, there's no dive. No, dive. No, what? The straight after the Kulusevski.
Yeah.
Rice just made a good tackle.
There's a lot of arms going around. No, I'm joking. But I personally didn't. At real time, I thought.
No, definitely.
Could be in trouble real time for the Kulusevski one. But when I've watched it probably 1,000 times now, and I'm like, he basically brushes his shin pad, but it's Kulusevski running across him, and I think that's why he just hasn't given it.
I think it's a penalty. Yeah, it's a penalty. Trossard doesn't tap him. He doesn't fall over. It's not a foul. It taps him. His leg hits his own leg. It's a foul. Anyway, you score from that. Leading up to that was shocking defending once again. Ben Davis just.
If you watch that goal again, there's 3 of them in the middle, and they all run
just towards the goal,
towards the corner flag-ish, and Saka runs that way.
Yeah, and it was Saka's left-footed. Of course, he's going to come back inside. It's just rubbish.
Funny you say that, because at real time I was like, he's going to hit this with his right foot across the goalkeeper, and he didn't.
He looked like he had time.
He did. Guess he looked like he. I thought Ben Davis had let him have the shot, and he cut back, and I was like, don't do that.
It's just poor. It's poor. It was a good ball from Havertz, and Saka's obviously in acres of space, but yeah, it's just poor defending once again, and we're 2-0 down. And you think, what is going on? What is happening? And the third goal, it's even more ridiculous about the defending again, but. Like I said earlier about the set pieces, but Rice just knocks in a good ball. Havertz is waiting for it, and Van der Ven's too weak, gets not even brushed, but tapped forward. Vicario's trying to wrestle. I'm too worried about Ben White, and it's 3-0, and it's half time. You think, not thinking bloody hell, how we've done that, but it's done. If it wasn't over at 2-0, it's over at 3-0, and it's just a disgraceful first half.
Well, sitting there as an Arsenal fan, I was pleading to get to half-time 3-0. He had a couple of chances. Brendan Johnson, and I still wasn't confident. He had a couple of chances. Son had that chance over.
Son had
and I knew all you need is something to cling on to. Like we'd all been there. All you need is one thing for it to go. And in a derby, maybe not if it was Arsenal away at Fulham. You could probably see out. You could probably let them have a go, and you could sit out. At a derby, you know it's going to be all guns blazing.
Yeah, and it was.
And considering we had given you a few chances in the first half, and I thought after the Son one at half time, I thought, right, we're in 3-0, get to half time, got in at half time, and then minute 45
Saka, wasn't it?
to 63. Saka was, I don't know if you watched it. Have you rewatched it?
No, because
he's offside. Havertz is offside, I think.
Oh, what for the?
It was a great save.
Yeah,
and it would have been 4-0, but I think it would have been offside.
Oh, I mean, I fucking went down under for a drink for about 30 minutes, so. I wasn't actually in the stand when you made it 3-0, and when you look in the cold light day, we actually did okay, blah blah. But in that moment, your emotions are running high. We're 3-0 down to Arsenal. All you can hear is them in the corner. You talk about again tactics and style of play, and did this, did that, blah blah blah. Decisions didn't go away. All the rest of it, we're 3-0 down at half time to Arsenal. It's disgrace, absolute disgrace.
And like I said, minute 45 to minute 63 and a half. Was literally exactly how I wanted the game to go. I was counting down every 5 minutes, just like 5 minutes gone.
Yeah, no, we always said, getting the goal, blah, blah, but yeah.
I don't know if you came back out for the second half then, and it was just, it was like a pre-season friendly. The sun was shining, a little bit of shade, no noise. I think half the Spurs fans are still having their pints and just didn't want to come out. And it was just nothing going on. Playing in the ball band, like you said, Saka had that chance, probably offside, and we just planned possession, nothing really going on. And I thought this is exactly what Arsenal need to do, because they can do it, kill the game, defend like they did at City, don't let any chances, and get away nicely. Don't have to go 4-5 or just keep your shape.
The game was like you said, the game's done. There's no reason.
And what you mentioned earlier about your midfield has been a shambles, I think leads to the goal. It's an individual mistake from Raya. He wants to ping it into.
He's going to Rice.
He wants to ping it into Partey, who then but he can see Partey's getting chased by an absolute madman. Who has left all defensive responsibilities and decided no one's pressing. I'm going to press from centre half, and if the pass is correct, and like Raya had picked the pass he should have done, your defence is all wide open, and he's pinged it straight. You can see what he does it, and I think we've all been there if we've played football. Time you went to do a pass and you change your mind at the last minute, and he's caught in two minds and does neither there or here or there.
Yeah.
Hits it straight to Romero, who I wish was Timo Werner in that position. And he slots it away, and it's the 64th minute, and you think, no, that's the last thing we needed to go. And I sometimes feel when you concede a goal like that, and you've effectively just booted it in your own net, it sort of doubles down on the momentum and makes your anxiety more up.
Like you're saying, the game was dead almost, and that's perfect for the team that are winning. But exactly like you just said, but when it's almost like that, because you're so relaxed almost and almost blasé, that's why that mistake happens anyway. But then you're like, oh shit, we've conceded it. Like you said, the whole momentum, everyone's up again, and then it's a bit of a chaotic end to the match. But but that from Romero was, like you said, that when you come out in the second half, we couldn't do anything worse. So you need that aggression inside him. You can only applaud it, because in that scenario you might as well go, right, we were disgraced for that first half. It's done now. I've just got to charge around, put Arsenal under as much pressure as possible, and hopefully players follow me. And when Richarlison came on, alright, he's not that great, but he's a similar sort of mindset, and just charge around like madmen and cause havoc and see what happens.
Yeah, and I think Ray obviously was at massive faults for the goal, but after that I thought he was absolutely superb, claiming literally every cross that went in. He then slowed the game down again. His distribution was fine, didn't give away another ball, didn't actually make a save all game, which is typical David Ray at the moment, just not making any saves, but claim that we did what he's good at, and claiming crosses and distribution. He made a mistake, and if Arsenal play like that for 38 games of the season, the goalkeepers were going to give it away once or twice, which I was okay about. At the time I was fucking fuming, because like you said, we should have been on the beach sipping cocktails.
It's just unneeded,
he didn't need to do that.
Unneeded, yeah.
And I think we weathered storm for maybe 5 or 6 minutes, and the game sort of nullified out again until the last few minutes. That you made a couple of subs, and how Mike Oliver hasn't given that penalty in real time.
I know we talked about decisions earlier, but it's awful referee. It's awful. It is. I know it's Tottenham Arsenal, it's us, but that is awful refereeing. How can he's from, like me and Tate, like a yard away. He's in the perfect position. He's the best seat in the house. He's looking directly at it. He probably heard the slap of Rice's foot against Ben Davis. Like,
it's so obvious to be subbed, didn't he?
Yeah, it's such an obvious decision, and he's give it the big arms. Like, what?
Do you know what I actually thought? I think if you go back to not your last game, West Ham, Newcastle, and the Calvin Phillips one, I think he's thought in his head, I'm going to be clever here, and Ben Davis has run into him, and you know that sort of I think and that's why he, to start with, he's because he gave it the big arms across, like you can't see what I'm doing here, but the biggest arms across, like no way, and never was like screeching his ears down like penalty.
It's just the most obvious. Just give it. It's just, and the refs they just don't do themselves. They are shit. I don't care. They are shit. And Michael Oliver, another example. Anthony Taylor, Saturday with West Ham, another example. They're just crap. They are just utter crap, and they keep getting away with it. And again, yesterday was a perfect example. It's directly in front. It's the clearest of clear fouls that you'll ever see, and he just didn't give it. And then VR thankfully intervened, because they couldn't allow that one to go, and Son scores the penalty. But
I did think, how are we giving another penalty away to Tottenham? Like, Kane doesn't play there anymore. Stop giving penalties away. I saw some tweet yesterday. It was like, start pack for every North London derby. Spurs score own goal, and Arsenal give penalty away.
I saw that Spurs scored, like, it's not a lot, but 3 out of the last 7 goals conceded from Tottenham have been own goals. Like, I know that maybe Romero one was this season, but yeah, strange, very strange.
Yeah, it's the last 3 opening goals of North London derbies have been own goals. So this was Højbjerg, Romero early in the season, and then last year it was Lloris.
Yeah, bizarre. But
and Saka's assisted, quote unquote, them all. An own goal counts as a misplaced pass.
Yeah, no, very odd, but sort of set up a nervy finish, but it was pretty tame ending, I think. Yeah,
no, it wasn't. I kept calm, but in my head I was like, I don't think I've ever come much close to having a heart attack. I'm in all sorts of bother here, because it was just there was no need. If the game had been like a different game set and we'd gone 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, the game wasn't like that. The game was Arsenal on the beach in 65 minutes.
It was done, yeah.
Play it out. Well, I think we were 5 minutes away from people having enough and being, oh, fuck, I've heard enough of this, had enough of this, and going home. And once you got to that, it was, if we'd got to that marker, I think we could have seen it out. But
no, yeah. It was...
Well, I actually think it might sound really silly, but we actually defended better in the second half. I know we lost 2-0, but the 2 goals we gave away were just 2 silly mistakes. Apart from that, there was you didn't hit the post. You didn't have a goal disallowed for offside. There was no half chances. It was
in general, I actually thought Arsenal didn't get out of second gear. Like, didn't have to, because it was you were 3-0 down without even, like I said, without even trying.
Agree, yeah.
It was, I wouldn't say Arsenal were bad, and I don't think they were exceptional. And I thought we like we have been. We've been okay on the ball, but yeah, you talk about shooting yourself in the foot. We just basically put 2 in our own net, and without even trying, it's just like, yeah, I've got here, but when you take a step back and you look at the game overall and you look at all the stats and the metrics, they measure all the nerds out there and XG, possession and field tilt and all that bollocks. Tottenham apparently come out on top on all those areas, but again, in a game like that, with what it meant for any of the outcomes, if we would have drawn, Tottenham won, Arsenal win, obviously they carry on for the title. The derby game, like you always say, but it's cliche, but it's so different. It's just a battle, and it needs to be like Everton did in midweek, and yeah, and all the stats and all that rubbish. It is rubbish. It means nothing. And like I said, 2-0 down and 3-0 down at half time. Rubbish.
Yes, I think we played reasonably well in the first half. It wasn't a 3-0er.
No.
And I think that at half time that sort of changed the team talk. Like, fuck yeah, we're 3-0 up here. We don't need to go hell for leather. And that's why I think some of the mistakes, the Real one in particular, comes in. I don't think he does that at 1-0. He just boots it.
Yeah.
There's no, can I dink this into Partey to get over Romero's head? Like, no, you just get rid of it, mate.
Yeah. I think the Van de Ven another day, obviously he could have been half a yard onside. The Arsenal player might not get out quick enough, and 1-0, I think it could be very different. I don't think we necessarily won, but it's a very different atmosphere. Obviously we just scored, got back in the game. It's a totally different game, I think. But yeah, like I said, the first half was disgrace, and we got better second. But yeah, the damage is already done. I think 3-0 down. It's finished.
And I think we have to win all our games if we're going to have any chance of winning the league. And if we won all 3, it leaves us on 89, and that's what City won the league on last year. Although they did peter off the last 2 games and they dropped 5 points.
I think you do now as well. I think you do win them all, but I also think City win them all. So yeah, it's definitely it's obviously very, very close. And for some reason I do think we might get a result against City. And I hope, God forbid we do, but there we go.
Because that defeat leaves you 5th place, 60 points, 7 behind Villa, 2 games in hand, 1 on Thursday away at Chelsea. Not the best record there.
No, yeah. 4-0 loss.
And the other game in hand is at home to Man City.
Yeah.
Which, if we win all 3 if we win our next 2, it goes down to the last game of the season.
Yeah. No, yeah. I think it will go to that point, and
it doesn't matter whether you twerk for them or whatever you do.
Yeah.
It's going to go down to the last game of the season. And could David Moyes potentially help out? Could West Ham help out their old teammate Ben Rice?
Yeah. Captain League legend? Nah, surely not.
I don't know. Strange things have happened.
But I think the league's done it, as in Arsenal. Like I said, Arsenal City for the title. We're gonna just clinch 5th, I think, and Villa 4th. But yeah.
And so you're 6 points above United. And I think you'll be solid in there 5th. I think United. They might have got.
Yeah, we've got Sheffield United, not in this order. We've got Sheffield United away and Burnley at home, and I'd bloody hope we win both of those.
The rest of your games are pretty tricky, though, aren't they?
Yeah, very hard, very, very hard.
Who have you got? You got City, Liverpool, Chelsea.
We've got Chelsea
them
Thursday, Liverpool, City, and then Burnley and Sheffield United either side.
And
Liverpool,
City. Liverpool wins Chelsea away, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's funny enough that
it's really annoying
at Liverpool. I think
it's really annoying that City game is where it is. If it was this now, would be perfect. Because it's at the penultimate game. I just think, I don't know.
They've just set it up though, and they set it up because they're obviously maybe hoping Spurs were going to be going for something. But yeah, it's just they've held it on and set it up perfectly.
And I think they thought that City would be in semi-finals as well.
Yeah,
because
otherwise
it could have been next week. Could have been.
Yeah,
but
yeah. No, it was a bad day for Spurs. Just
it's what it is. It's what it is. Right. Should we go on to our prediction for the weekend?
Yes.
I can't remember whose go it was last time.
I don't know. Go on, you can go for it if you got.
I'll have a look. Right. I don't think I've won one of these all season. I got the right score. I might have got the right team once, but never the right score. This weekend is the final day of the championship, isn't it? On Saturday.
It is, yeah. And that's been good. I watched the Ipswich game. It was quite good.
Massive. Ipswich, Huddersfield, Leeds have basically thrown it away.
Yeah,
They've got
Leeds
Southampton,
thrown it in.
Leicester back up. League 1, League 2 finished, didn't it, at the weekend?
Yeah, League 2 did.
Sheffield United, Forest. Oh, that's on at 3.
Also, Everton versus Brentford was the worst game. The single-handedly worst game of the season. That was
it
awful.
5:30? Was it?
Yeah, that's
1-0,
Saturday.
was it?
Just,
Yeah.
it was so boring.
Right, I'm going to go Sunday, 2 o'clock kickoff, Chelsea versus West Ham.
Chelsea win. Chelsea win 4-2.
4-2, plenty of goals. I'm going to go. I'm stuck between a 2-2 draw and a 2-1 Hammers win. 2-1 West Ham. 2-1 West Ham. Moyes, masterclass. Right. Winner and loser of the week. Do you want to go first? Or?
Yeah, my winner of the week. I've gone for Doncaster Rovers. They drew 1-1 in their final game of season of League 2 at the weekend. They finished 5th after going 12 unbeaten, winning 11 in a row. Middle of December, they were 20th. They've lost once in 18 games towards the end of the season. Ended the season in playoffs, and like I said, they finished 5th. So now aiming to get into League 1 after getting relegated from League 1 in 2020-21 season. Doncaster, they were, like I said, 20th in December, but on a mental run of one loss. Sitting in 5th, so Doncaster Rovers.
Up the old Donnies. My winner of the week, Everton Football Club, who have decided to basically sit on their hands from December to April. And then April's come around and they thought, fuck it, should we win a couple of games? Like, literally, they've been an absolute joke from ever since we had Terrific Toffees episode, whatever that was, 72, whatever, to 2 weeks ago. And then they just win 3 games a week, no goals conceded.
Where would they beat? Go on, carry on.
Dyche in a tracksuit, 8 points deducted. They beat Liverpool the first time since 2010 at home. Up the fucking Toffees. They've literally, like, you know the meme, when you're playing FIFA and you're losing, you lean forward. They've literally just started April, just clicked into gear and thought,
slightly
he's chucked his suit off, put his tracksuit on, and just got his ate some stones and like, come on boys.
No, backed. I do like Dyche, to be fair. I wouldn't have him at Spurs, but yeah, I do like him.
I just like how they just literally just like thought, fuck it.
So
Luton, sorry boys.
They have just leant forward as well. They're just like, right, let's play properly now.
Yeah.
Brilliant. No, my loser of the week, I've actually gone for Sheffield United. Finally relegated. Obviously, it's looked that way for a long time, but like I said, conceded 97 goals so far. 3 games remaining. Swindon hold the record after conceding 100 goals in the 93-94 season. So Sheffield United could surpass that and leave Swindon behind. Just awful side, and rightly relegated. Yeah.
The record said was 100.
The record is 100 goals conceded by Swindon. The only side to concede triple figures. So, I think Sheffield United will surpass
easily.
that.
How many games they got left?
3 games.
3, and they got it's 1 a game.
yeah. So they've got to somehow stop leaking goals. But yeah, Sheffield United loser of the week.
My Luton of the week. Luton of the week. Loser of the week is Brighton and Hove Albion. Last win came on the 10th of March, and that was a 1-0 win over Forest. 1 goal in the whole of April, which was that calamity own goal versus Burnley when Muric missed the ball, and that's their goal of the month this month. Torn apart by Man City, losing 3-0 away at Bournemouth yesterday. Not a good week. And quite interestingly, linking to my win of the week, if Everton hadn't had their 8 points deducted, they'd be they'd be on the same amount of points as Brighton. And like you said earlier, De Zerbi gets a lot of credit, and this and that. I just think this season they've twinkled too much with too many young players. They've tried too many things, and they're a good team when they're on it, but maybe the European football was taking their eye off the ball, but in the league recently they've been a disgrace.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
been a disgrace.
They've been poor.
Right, let's end on the teaser.
Yes,
and like I said, Tottenham travel to Anfield on Sunday to face Liverpool. But can you name me the 7 players to have played for both teams? Not the 7. Can you name me 7? Sorry.
Okay. Robbie Keane.
Robbie Keane is correct.
Jamie Redknapp.
Jamie Redknapp is correct.
And no, did he?
Who?
Paul Konchesky.
Paul Konchesky, correct.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Roy Hodgson, boy.
Yeah, no, I know. I can picture him in Liverpool, but I know I'm trying to think. Maybe Thompson. I don't know. Okay, after that,
yeah, he was definitely a Thompson lad.
Yeah. Because obviously he played. I don't know. Weird one. Don't know why. I just can't picture him in a Spurs kit. Anyway. Ooh. I had the first 2. I can't. This is where I'm struggling now.
More of them are elder years.
Yeah, I do. I feel like they're old school. Oh God. Crouch. Peter Crouch.
Crouch, yep.
On
a clue?
Yeah, I'm struggling there. I'm big time.
BBC pundit.
Oh, Danny Murphy.
Danny Murphy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, great.
And sticking with the theme of bald heads.
Konchesky, Murphy. Bald
Probably just about played for. I don't know how long he played for Liverpool, but you'd have more memories of him at Spurs.
He's got a bald head.
Played a lot of games in the Premier League.
It doesn't help.
Harry Redknapp era.
Oh, right, okay. Bald head, Harry Redknapp. No,
the clue I'll give you, if I give you his position, you'll get it.
People are very screaming at it.
Goalkeeper.
Brad Friedel?
Yeah.
Of course, twat. Yeah. I can't picture him in a Liverpool kit. Idiot.
And there's a few other old ones, but there's one more.
I need a 7th, yeah.
Modern-ish. Played for a lot of clubs. Had a bit of trouble off the pitch. He didn't play for you. Didn't play for either team a lot, to be fair. He made his debut for Liverpool. Klopp had him. I think it was Klopp. Made his debut for Liverpool, and he brought him up with 2 minutes to go against Arsenal up front. And he's a centre-half.
Oh, Stephen Corker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard his podcast a few times. That's 7, isn't it?
That's 7, yeah.
Any... Must be some... I can't...
Nick Barmby.
Nick Barmby.
There's this player that your dad might know, but I've never heard of him before. And I'm going to butcher the name. Ovivind Leon Hardson.
Just go through them and then show me that name. Yeah.
Ronnie Rosenthal, Neil Ruddock, John Scales, and I didn't know he played for Liverpool, this bloke. Christian Ziegler.
Ziegler, yeah.
I'll circle it. Ovind Leonzard.
Yeah, no idea. They probably parents would know him, but if I saw his face, yeah, that's a good question. Yeah.
I was going to ask you who's got the top goal scorer in Merseyside derbies, but I thought you'd get that because every time I ask one of these like older ones, it's always the same answer.
Yeah. Was it Duncan Ferguson or?
No, Ian Rush.
Oh, Ian Rush. Oh, yeah.
Because he's the all-time leading goal scorer in FA Cup goals, League Cup goals.
Yeah.
He scores all these goals. Like. Yeah. But no, that rounds up episode 94.
Yes.
Yeah, we haven't actually spoke about our previous episode.
No.
Zavon Hines.
No, yeah.
So, thank you for coming on, Zavon.
And, we posted, it got us to the 13th.
Yeah, we had quite a lot of views on that one on YouTube as well. And, we had quite a lot of engagement on that. So, I think he reposted it himself as well. So, thank you again for that.
Yeah, it was good. And as always, people are getting involved in that and following and letting us comments and whatever else saying good things. So, appreciate it, of course.
3 more to go now till the end of the season, and then we'll do a Euros one, and we've got some stuff. We'll do some stuff in the pre-season and whatnot. But
closing things lined up,
closing in on number 100.
Yeah, we're getting there nearly.
Not too far away, but as always, thank you for listening and stay loyal.
Stay loyal.